What's up guys, Sub-Zero here, back for something a little bit different. So I'm going to be on vacation starting the 12th until the 18th of this month, but I wanted to post stuff for you guys during those days. Don't want to just leave nothing out on my YouTube. So I got permission from some of my students who have gotten coaching from me to post their sessions to YouTube. So thank you to all the students who were cool with this. I want to say first things first, absolutely, these students were so kind and allowed me to post their sessions. I feel like all of them are really valuable sessions that can teach a lot of really cool stuff, but be nice. The main thing I see that I hate whenever I post a coaching session to YouTube is people flaming in the comments. Most of the time people have been good after I've told you guys to be nice about it, but please be nice in the comments. These people are being very brave and allowing their mistakes to be posted on YouTube for the world to see. So I really appreciate that from them, and I want you guys to have that same appreciation. And so just, you know, be nice. Everybody makes mistakes in TFTs. I swear, if any of you say, I can't believe this player made this mistake, and I watch your own games, I bet I see some way more egregious stuff is all I'm saying. The other thing that I will say is that if you like what you see in the session, you think, wow, that seems really informative, that seems like a great way to get to improve a TFT, then you can schedule a session yourself. You can go to my Metafy, scroll down here and book your session here. I also have coaching bundles down here. And the other things that I wanted to shout out, which are a little bit lesser known and also a little bit cheaper if you don't want to pay for like a full session or something like that, are two things. One is my Strongest Board Masterclass. This is going to be kind of like a group session where I'm going to be teaching a class on how to play Strongest Board. So you click onto this, you sign up for the class, and we're all going to hop into a Discord server and go through. Basically, I'm going to go through some of a PowerPoint presentation and also just some examples about how to play Strongest Board in TFT. I think it's going to be really fun and really helpful. So join that if you're interested. And the other thing is this, which is a Metafy group. What I'm going to be posting here for the people who are like the higher tier subscribers, there's one tier, I think it's $10. For anyone who subscribes to this, I'm going to post any and all coaching VODs as long as people are cool with it, of course. I'm not going to like post a coaching VOD if somebody doesn't want to. But after every session, I'm going to say, hey, are you cool with me posting my coaching VOD to the Metafy? So if you enjoyed this content and want to see more of it, I already, once this video goes out, I'm going to have a VOD from coaching on here that is not available on YouTube. So if you're interested in more exclusive coaching VODs in the future, they're basically all going to be here. So go to the group, pay the $10 to join the group, and you can see more coaching VODs. So with that all being said, let's get into the video. Thanks everybody for allowing me to post their sessions. All right, here to review your VOD, we have the Teemo lets you reroll your Augments in extra time portal, so that should be fun. Also, this is Masters. I looked up your LOL chess, about 200 LP. You have around 450 games played this set. Looks like you're sort of like struggling, hitting, going down to Master 0 LP, winning some games, going back down to Master 0 LP. I would say with 450 games played in this set, I don't think you really need to be like playing more. I think Lee Sin, Syndra, York, Teemo, Jax, not a super playable one. Maybe there's some kind of like Lee Sin, York, Umbral setup, and then you fit Syndra in. That's like the most reasonable, I think, but it's not that reasonable. Or maybe even like Jax somehow. But yeah, I would say your issue, just from looking at your amount of games played in the rank you are, is not like playing more games. I don't think you need to jam more games of TFT. I think you need to study more with that amount of games played, unless you're like full-time TFT. But I mean, if that's the case, tell me. That's another thing entirely. Then I mean, we can change everything. But if you're at part-time TFT, 450 games played, that's more games than I have played, though I don't play that much. That's like a serious time commitment. That means that you should probably be taking some of those games that you play and allocating them to VOD reviewing or studying stats or things like that. I would certainly sell one of these Aphelioses here in this position here. We can buy Rek'Sai pair plus Malphite. Usually pairs of 3 costs early game, especially this early, like the second you get them, unless it's like some really broken reroll comp that you want to play towards, usually this is a bait. Because the chance of finding an Aphelios 2 this game, especially this early, is 0. You're not going to see 3 costs for a while. And if you sell the Aphelios, you get the opportunity to pick up Rek'Sai pair plus Malphite. And especially with the idea that like maybe we get a Kindred down the line, maybe we play a Syndra game, we have Spark as our items already. You can pick up Rek'Sai pair here, and this is like really, really important to your Fated game. Like imagine our next shop is Rek'Sai plus Kindred. We would play an insane Fated opener, but now we don't have that Rek'Sai 2 that we would have if our shop was Rek'Sai plus Kindred. So yeah, just something to keep in mind as a possibility. There's our Ahri for the potential Fated opener, but now it's like a little bit hard. Looks like you're trying to angle towards snipers here, which we'll see what our augments or what our items look like. Like if you get dropped a tier here, it's pretty awkward to play snipers. I guess you could make adaptive and it wouldn't be terrible here. Belt, tier. Yeah, I mean, these are items that I think angle fantastically into Fated. If you want to play a snipers game, I guess there's just make adaptive and then sit on this. But I think the idea of making Spark, having tier open for blue buff, having belts open for Nashers looks amazing if I want to actually play towards a Fated setup. So definitely what I would like to angle towards here. You have fully adapted with an Adapticone Slam that kind of cuts down on what you can play. But I mean, you can go fully adapted Syndra. I mean, this is a spot where I would just get out the old Explorer here because I have not taken that much fully adapted. But like, I'm pretty happy to play fully adapted this game from the spot with the slam, because I mean it averages not bad, right? 4.54, and the stats say you should play Cinder from this spot, and so like I think you just go fully adapted Cinder here. You can mess around with the delta. Obviously these are all going to be 5 costs, and then you can look like, ooh, a Loon Silas is also good, so you could also play like Umbral from this spot. I mean, that's something I learned. I've never played Umbral from this spot. You can play around Annie as well, like, you know, just getting an idea for what's actually good with this augment, because sometimes, you know, you'll think something like Morgana is good, and I mean the stats say it's not that good. So yeah, I think you just want to go fully adapted and then play around Fated from this spot. I mean, it looks fantastic. Yeah, and you're considering it, right? Fully adapted. I mean, this looked great though. Fully adapted. Save this for like a JG. Yeah, I think this is like an insta take here. I would reroll these two unless you get something incredibly broken. Just take the fully adapted here, and you can throw them. I wish we had a 2-star unit like I was talking about like the Rek'Sai 2. Let's go back on your lobby scout. I love that you do this, by the way, that you scout the lobby here. This is a really good thing to do, just to get an idea what people's directions are. Like, this person is probably playing Dryad, which is a little bit annoying for you, but not the end of the world. That was Haunted House. Don't have to worry about them contesting. This guy also maybe Fated. That's the only kind of scary thing, is that looks like a decently contested Fated lobby, but that guy doesn't necessarily have to play Fated, so we'll see. That guy's definitely duelist. But I mean, I think Fully Adapted is your best bet here. Sleight of Hand's a great augment as well. We're running low on time. I think I would just... Ooh, okay. Looks like we're... Oh, stationary? I mean, let's go back and look at our options again. I mean, stationary is not bad by any means, but I think Fully Adapted with an adaptive Helm Slam just has to be the take here. Like, the stats on this augment, like I said, they don't look bad. 4.54. I mean, we can actually even just go augments and like look at it at 2-1, because like that's probably... Yeah, so it's like 4.54, but I imagine when you slam an adaptive with this, it's probably in like the 4.2 range. I doubt it goes all the way up to like 4.1, but starting the game with 2 adaptives with fully adaptive seems insane. So I think that's a miss on the augment there. Stationary is a fine augment for sure, but I think you should just... I mean, you definitely saw it. I think maybe what scared you off it is that there's multiple people playing Dryad, but like we looked at the stats, you can play Umbral if you get an opener for it. You can play stuff like Lilia Morgana. It's not amazing, but it's still probably quite good. So yeah, I think it's definitely that, and then you can just sort of see what the game gives you. And also, you have a really good spot to play Fated, especially if we had held on to that Rek'Sai pair. But yeah, instead we get this Randuin's dummy, which is not bad. We still... It looks like you're looking... You're interested in playing snipers from this position, which I don't think is the right read, just from our augments, or from our items. Augment is fine for snipers. From our items, I really don't want to be playing snipers here. There's no sword for like an Ashe item. You have no bow for Gwynsu. You have the rod, which is half of Gwynsu, but I'd rather have the bow because you can use more bows than you can use rods. We have a tier as well, which is not amazing. Redemption is one of the worst tank items that you can make in this comp, just because you already have damage reduction. You don't need more. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not that happy with this spot here. And I don't really like the board that we end up playing here. We get all these Radiant items, and you're looking at playing... I'm not really sure what this is. You're pivoting your board into Trickshot for whatever reason, but I mean, you can still play Warden on this board. I'm not... Yeah, I don't know why you're more interested in playing Trickshot over like the Aphelios. Like, Aphelios is pretty good. Like, you could still make gold here, right? You just have to sell like the Ribbon, and you would kind of have to like throw away the dream of playing around Fated, but that's kind of okay. Or like, I think what's most reasonable is you just give up the dream of playing this comp, because our items are not great for Kai'Sa either, and I would rather play Ashe than Kai'Sa. I know Ashe is one-way contested, but that's not a reason to play out of it, unless somebody else just guaranteed playing it. But yeah, we end up playing like this board, and then we get the Sivir in here, and we get Trickshot in, but I think we've just pivoted into a slightly weaker board You want to hold the, and we also have to figure out where items are going. We spent a lot of time on this without figuring out where items are going. I like the slams, though. Yep. Ooh, Morello, and then nothing here for now. I mean, I can kind of see it. My question is just, what are we playing in this spot? I think your idea is Morello Teemo, and then we're going to play Kaisa from this spot, but look at our items. Our items are tier cloak to play Kaisa from. Yeah, I think we're already putting ourselves in kind of a weird spot. I mean, maybe your thought is Morello blue buff, but I think if we were going to go blue buff, Morello is kind of weird, right? Unless we're playing Teemo reroll. I mean, maybe this is a Teemo reroll spot, and then, I mean, I'm not that convinced that it's a great Teemo reroll spot, but it would be fun at least. I'd be kind of down for that if we naturaled some more Teemos. But yeah, like Morello blue buff to me doesn't make that much sense. I like getting exalted in here, and yeah, we can just slam this stuff. I guess that was your idea, is that we have a higher chance of getting the player on exalted, but I think this is kind of, it's sort of baited you into making weird slams, because what are we playing for Morello blue buff here? Like, I guess the idea is Lilia Morgana, but Lilia only really likes blue buff when you have 4 Invoker, and if you're playing Morgana, then you're not playing 4 Invoker. So yeah, I don't really know what Morello blue buff is, because we went out of our way to build Morello blue buff. I think if we had just kept our item components open, because we weren't really playing for a win streak opener, our items now would be blue buff, and then we would have, like, our items could be blue buff Spark Slammed here with Belt Open for Nashers. Like, our spot could be so good to be playing Faded around, or we could be playing the double Adapticone setup. But yeah, I don't completely understand this item priority here. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. We're holding on to Senna here over Garen pair, which kind of surprised me, because, I mean, we could certainly fit Garen on level up as our board. I feel like that's our best board is level up for Garen, where instead we're holding on to this Senna for, like, potentially Ink Shadow, but I don't really know. Yeah, I don't really want to play around Ink Shadow. I like the idea of looking at the Koboko here. I would certainly buy this, sell the Riven, hold the Koboko. I mean, boom, there is a Alawi, which is kind of nice. Do we want to make gold here? Looks like you're looking at pre-leveling for the, or just wait, we're already pre-leveled. No need to, like, actually level here. We're gonna be level 5 next round regardless. I was just trying to look at if we could make gold in this position. Did you pre-level? No, yeah, you didn't pre-level here. So the question is, we get 3 gold from this. We pick up the Koboko. I mean, we can certainly make gold here. In your position, I'm down to make. I mean, you just don't need to hold the Senna, right? It's like sell, 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 sell. Buy the Jax 2, and that's it. And, like, buy a Kog'Maw maybe. I guess you can hold the Koboko over one of those things, but I would hold the Alawi, because I think we are playing. Because, okay, so now, I guess my other question is, if we sold that Alawi, that means we're not trying to play Lilia Morgana, in which case I don't know what we're playing. Like, I guess your idea maybe is that we're playing Kaisa still from Blue Buff Morello Teemo, but I don't want that to be our spot. I certainly don't want that to be our spot. I guess we'll see. But, I mean, Kaisa comp with no Kaisa items sounds a little bit rough, and I don't think Teemo reroll. With one Teemo, I don't think we can play Teemo reroll, is the big issue with, like, that angle, which could be, I mean, that's, like, the best angle here, but we don't have Teemo. So, yeah. All right, we get Speedy. That's fun. Let's see Augment here, because that'll determine a lot. We have Trick Shot in, so maybe it could be... Okay, and it looks like, from what you were putting in Team Builder, what you were going to try to put into Team Builder there, it looked like we were playing into that, into Kaisa, which, I don't know. We'll see. I don't think it's Venerable Piggy Bank or Crown Guarded. Martyr's a fantastic Augment. And we also have the double rerolls still, which is so wild. I mean, you have my sword. We don't have anything to slam out of it. Oh, honestly, Keepers with this dummy is not bad. Like, honestly, it's probably just Keepers here. Like, the Keepers value plus this dummy is kind of insane. Especially if we end up playing Kaisa, because you also get the Kale to play around with that comp as well. So, yeah, we just clump our entire front line, get insane shield plus HP. Looks like you're going to pick Martyr here, which I think is decent, but I think you should be thinking more about how you're... Oh, Raining Gold? I'm scared. I'm scared of Raining Gold here. I don't 100% hate it, but I think Keepers was our best augment here. I wanted Combat here because, honestly, we already have a lot of gold from the fact that we made a lot of gold just last stage. We got all the gold from Krugs. I don't think we really need more gold in this position. Like, I don't know what more gold is really going to do for you here. We do get Fortune in here, which is nice. I think you should certainly play this for 4 rounds, and then you can just 4-2 it. Great. But yeah, Raining Gold I think is a bit overkill here when your board's already good. Okay, we made TK2. I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, you should definitely play it over... Well, maybe not definitely. You should scout your opponents here and play it over Jax here if you're confident that you can lose. But this board is not that bad. You have to be kind of careful that this board doesn't win because, I mean, yeah, your board is not, I mean, look how close this fight is. Oh my god, I think we did win this fight, yeah. Yeah, we need to, if you're going to put Fortune in, you need to scout there, because the difference between losing 4 there and winning here is pretty big, right? You could potentially get to like 10 stacks for your Fortune cash out here, and yeah, that's another thing where like if you don't know, you can go to tactics.tools. I think it's under tools, tables, yeah, and look at Fortune table and see all the different Fortune breakpoints. I think this one is quite reasonable for you to get to from this position. 4 loss, I believe, would get you to it. There's another Fortune table that I need to pull up, but I don't have the link handy right now, I think. Maybe I can find it. But yeah, give me 1 sec. Let me see if I can find it. And I'll send you these I'll send you these in Metafy. No, I don't think I have it. I think it's in TFT Hub Fortune. I think if you do that, no, I don't think it's. Oh no, it is on here. Okay. I'll drop a link to this because this is the best link. This is a table by Leduc that says when you get Fortune in at X round, and then you keep it in for that many rounds, how many stacks you get. So we got it in at 3-3 here. So this is the last one. So yeah, 1, 5, 12, 22. If we lose 4 in a row here, that's so big. Wow. That gets us to the 20 luck, actually. Ah, okay, so nice that I had this table here. Yeah, you get so much for losing stage 4. So then we could get potentially an artifact here for 4 loss here, or like 4 cost, or a spat. Like it's actually so big to 4 lose here. So when you get Fortune in this spot, you need to be trying to sack harder here. And like I said, like if everyone's really strong, you can play the TK too. But that guy you fought there was not very strong, so rough there. Let's go back and look at our what we ended up taking off carousel, because I was doing too much yapping about the Fortune. So we have. It was a cloak open still, I believe. Yes, we have cloak open in this position. You're looking for frontline item, and you just say gargoyle. I don't hate it, but I don't know what we're playing from this spot. It's just very non-obvious to me from Blue Buff Morello Slam. It just, to me, okay. I'm happy to. Okay. So yeah, you are considering playing Kaisa from here. I just don't think it really makes sense with the items. We are at 3-6. We don't have a Kaisa item yet. How are we playing Kaisa? I mean, I guess we'll see. But like, imagine our drop from Krugs is like Belt Rod or like Rod Bow. How are we playing Kaisa? I mean, I guess we're probably gonna get a decent number of items from there because we got no item Krugs. So I guess that's something to think about. Great loss here, by the way. I mean, if you 3 loss at, I think the table doesn't actually go that far. Yeah, I think 3-3 is the last stage that the table is built out for. But I guess it would go 1, 5, and then you can certainly get to 10 stacks if you lose the next 2. Wait, we didn't roll here, did we? Where did that Irelia come from? Did we just natural it in shop? Yeah, we just naturaled Irelia in shop. I mean, that's maybe good. I don't actually know if we can play around this Irelia. I mean, she holds the Morello pretty well, but I don't actually know how we would play around Irelia this game. It's kind of funny. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what the rest of our game looks like. But yeah, I don't know if we're actually playing Irelia this game. But okay, we need to lose the next 2 fights for sure. This is the Fortune guy. The other thing is you could mess this guy's game up so much by inting versus him. Like, he is playing way too strong a board. When you get Fortune in here, you need to be scouting. Like, there is no reason that we should not be inting this guy. We grief his, like, you could actually, like, lose so many placements off of this, because not only did we not grief his Fortune loss streak here, he goes from, like, I think it was 42 to 55 here, but also you don't keep your Fortune loss here. So when you play Fortune like this, you need to be scouting more. And if you're not going to scout more, then just play weakest board. Like, you cannot be defaulting strongest board with Fortune, and it's so bad for your game. Because yeah, just losing, like I said, losing those 4 fights can potentially net you an artifact, as opposed to this cash out, which is going to be like 2 gold. Like, it's so much worse. Or even the 10 loss, or not the 10 loss, but the 10 luck could have also been really nice for you. What does the XP work out to be here? After this next fight, we're going to be 36. So yeah, you just sack 1 here, 4 to it. It's perfect interval. Whoa. Yeah, because we're getting 4 XP. I mean, I don't think you need to 4-1 it. I guess you kind of... I would just sack for next interval here. I think you're afraid of being contested because the other Fortune player might be rolling here. That's what happens here. You look, and you see that this guy's level 8 rolling. I mean, you're one-way contested, I believe. I don't think anyone else is playing this. I don't think it's the end of the world. Like, I don't think you have to roll before him here, because now you roll. 1, it's off interval, and 2, you don't have that much gold to roll with now. I mean, you have the TK2, which is kind of nice already. And I guess you have like some of this stuff that we can sell. So I guess you have an okay amount of gold. I would probably just wait one more, especially because you have dupe, right? Worst case, you can just use dupe on something to 2-star it. But yeah, like you're one-way contested. If there were like a bunch more other people opting to play this comp, then I could see this. Like if there was one other player besides that guy playing it, then I could see it. But because that's not the case, I don't think you have to worry that much about this. I do think you are forced to make Bramble here. But yeah, we're playing Kai'Sa with a 0-item Kai'Sa. It's a little worrying to me. I mean, Teemo's going to do some amount of work. Like a good amount of work even, but I'm not that confident that these items are going to get us to a good spot. I mean, Little Buddies is good, right? You play a bunch of 4-cost, you play Teemo, you play Sivir, you play Riven. Yeah, I mean, Little Buddy's fantastic in this comp. It is an auto take. Yeah, I actually think that's fine, just to give yourself more time to roll. I actually like that a lot. All right, we can get 4 Bruiser in here. Talisman of Shred. Yeah, I think this is fine here. We don't have Shred yet. You really want to get to Last Whisper, but I think this is okay as like a low roll insurance. I think that's actually pretty smart. Another Galio here, continuing to roll. Galio 2, fantastic. Need to find one Kai'Sa here, and then probably just dupe her, honestly. No Kai'Sas yet. Teemo 2 actually really stabilizes you. There's Kai'Sa, dupe, get the Riven in, and we're chilling. I think we didn't get... Yeah, we didn't get the Riven in last second. We have Irelia still in as our Storyweaver, but our board looks pretty good from the perspective of what units we have in. The downsides to our spot are we took the gold augment, raining gold, and our board is, I would say, above average, but not too high above average. Red or blue? Oh, God. Yeah, I guess you're taking red here, but both are horrible for you. Already have a blue buff slant. I mean, okay, is it actually red, though? You get a red buff here, and your idea is that that's just damage on a Kai'Sa, I guess? I mean, it feels so... The other option is blue buff Silas, right? And then you get a duplicator. The duplicator really does... I mean, I guess you get a Reforger from this, right? Is your plan you're going to reforge the red buff? I actually don't hate it. Okay, I kind of like red here, and then you reforge red buff. I kind of think you have to. Yep, I love it. Okay, and we got Static Shift, pretty good. Okay. I mean, I like that you saw that quickly, that you know that it gives a Reforger. I think you know that it gives a Reforger based on how you played that. And then you use it to reforge the red buff. That's pretty smart. I like it. You should have Teemo closer to Kai'Sa here. Like, if you want to do this kind of spread out thing, which you honestly... I mean, versus this guy, you might have to do because of the Morgana. I mean, normally, like, default positioning is you have Sivir over here, we have Storyweaver, and you have the Storyweaver over here, which also we still don't have Riven in for some reason. Get Riven in on this board. I mean, usually play it over TK, but you can play it over Aatrox here. I mean, honestly, you probably just play it over TK for Little Buddy's value. TK2 is not going to do that much on this board. So yeah, just more Little Buddy's value, and you get Storyweaver in. Not sure why we are not playing here. I think it's just an oversight. But I mean, we should be able to go 9 here. I mean, hopefully. If we can't go 9, we are going 8th here. Also, I don't recall you checking what your Ink Shadow is. You probably did check it, and it's just super fast. So I didn't see. You have to go Last Whisper here, right? Yeah. It's so awkward because we did make the green Kale, but I think you just have to take Last Whisper in this position. And I think taking green Kale was relatively reasonable. I guess maybe you could make the argument that we were already on such a loss streak. I think it is Aatrox here over the TK to guarantee Little Buddy's value. You can't make, right? Yeah, you can't make 40 with that, but it's still quite good. Yeah, I don't know what this position... I mean, I like that you're trying to declump, but you don't have to declump versus every board. Like this board, especially with Nautilus over here, you can certainly have a Mumu, or not a Mumu, but Teemo here. The big thing, the problem with this positioning is that your Morello is not on the unit that Kai'Sa is hitting. You need to be, because how are you going to kill this Gnar if you don't have your Morello on him? Like, it's just not happening. Your Teemo's like shrooming everything but the Gnar. Like, if we had Morello on this Gnar, I think this fight's actually winnable. Maybe it still is winnable, actually. Oh my god. But, like, you see how close that fight was for no reason, just because our positioning was awkward? Like, oh, okay, now it's 1,000,000,000%. Okay, yeah, okay, I'm happy with this. But yeah, you need to have your Morello on the same target as our guy. And the other thing is that ideally we're clumping with Sivir if there's no AoE on the enemy board. Like that board there was a Nautilus, the other one there was a Morgana. There's so much AoE in the meta here that I think it is fine to default to something similar to this, but I really just want Teemo same side Kai'Sa so that he is actually shrooming the units that she's hitting. And also, you want him to be shrooming backline next to Kai'Sa so that he's Morelloing the units that Kai'Sa's hitting with ult, so that he's getting the units that Kai'Sa is hitting with ult low. Like, if Teemo shrooms backline next to Kai'Sa, then he can actually potentially, like, finish off a unit that Kai'Sa gets low. But if you do this instead, it's really, really awkward here. So, Yeah, I mean, we've gotten to an okay board. The thing that I've said the entire game that's the only awkward thing here is that we just don't have Kaisa items. We get a little bit lucky here in that we get a glove, but see, like, what are we doing? We have a zero item, I mean not zero item, but we have a very low item Kaisa. And like what you want to make here is redemption for your Galio here. But if you make redemption for your Galio, we're just doomed to be so low. I mean, maybe it's okay, and Teemo's just a beast, but I'm really concerned that if we make redemption here, we're not gonna have enough damage this game. But if we make guard breaker, then like we're building a bad item on Kaisa, and we're passing up redemption on Galio here. So I think we've put ourselves in a really awkward spot here. I think it's just based on Ink Shadow, right? If you have tanky Ink Shadow, then you have to go damage item on Kaisa. If you have damage Ink Shadow, then you just go redemption here and you take item off Carousel, and then you have 3 item Kaisa, and it's fine. Once again, I don't know what our Ink Shadow is this game, but yeah, that's what matters here. You are going to go for the guard breaker. I hope that we do have a... oh, what? What was that? We rolled once at 8? That was strange, but okay. I mean, we end up getting Ink Shadow. Okay, moment of truth. What's our Ink Shadow? Protection? Okay, so yeah, I think this is correct. You had to go guard breaker here because you're going to protection the Galio every single time. I like this. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we've made pretty decent items. It's just, I feel kind of awkward with the fact that our main itemized unit is a Teemo too. And I'm not saying Teemo's not a beast, because he kind of is a beast. But it's just a little bit worrying that our most itemized guy is a Teemo too. Like, if you fight someone with a really, really tanky frontline, I don't think Teemo's going to be able to carry you through these fights. You roll once here. I think it's okay to roll a little bit here. Like, I mean, actually, you're certainly supposed to roll to 10 gold here, right? You have Udyr, which is a huge hit, and Silas too, which is like a medium-sized hit. And also, like, are you really that confident you're going 10 from this position? I mean, you would sell the Kaisa here. Honestly, the Teemo 3 is bigger than that, though. I mean, now we actually... Oh my god. I mean, make the Silas, make the Kaisa, sell for Econ. I mean, I think the other Kaisa guy must be dead, right? With the fact that we found this many Kaisas. I mean, yeah, I would expect so. I mean, definitely make the Silas. Okay, we make the Silas, make the Kaisa. I would just sell to make 10 here. I don't think you're hitting Galio 3 with 0 gold in this position. I mean, you are level 9, I guess. Maybe it's possible. But I would certainly just sell something here, either Galio or Silas, depending on what we have less of, and make 10 with selling Teemo here. I think you have to do it. All right. It's IE here. If we can't get IE, it is JG. Okay. Well, yeah. We don't have the damage item for Kaisa. Wait, if we get IE here, our items are actually good. Wow. All right. It all ended up working out. I really think that it's kind of sketchy to play this comp from a position of itemizing Teemo first. I mean, Teemo is a great like secondary unit to itemize, but just the fact that we made it at 4-1 and our only Kaisa item was Glove was really, really sketchy. So I think you need to prioritize Kaisa items higher in this comp, and if you don't have the ability to do that, I think we should be trying to play a different comp. Like I said, our items I think made way more sense for playing Cinder this game. I like that you're open to Kaisa. It's a slightly less played line, which means you can get it a lot, but yeah, I don't like exactly how we played this game from our item scenario. And I do think you should just make 20 there. Like I said, Galio, especially, look, you scout that guy, they have Galio too. You're never hitting Galio through this game. Because that guy is 25 HP. So no need to hold these Galios. You should just hold Kaisa. That wasn't the Kaisa guy that we scouted, right? Because if that's the case, we're hitting neither. But I don't think so. But like I was saying earlier, like this is a board where you can actually clump versus. The only thing that you have to be scared of clump-wise versus this guy is the Azir. But like if the Azir's on your backline, you've already lost the fight. But yeah, like this is a board where you really want, I mean, one, to give attack speed to your Kaisa with the guy. With Sivir. And the other big thing is, like I said, Morello on the target that you're hitting. Morello onto this unit, and to this unit, and to this unit, it doesn't matter at all, because they're barely taking any damage. You really want the target that Kai'Sa's hitting to be Morello so that you can just burst through this stuff. Because, for example, if you have Teemo over here, Sivir over here, there's a world, I think, where you just burst through this front line quickly enough, and then you go onto backline and you win this fight. The problem is you're spreading all this damage through this front line here, which means it's really hard for you to win this fight, because you can never kill this Thresh with just Kai'Sa on. Teemo's now finally aggroed onto this Thresh. But if you had both aggro, this Thresh would already be dead. You'd potentially be aggroed onto backline. Even if you lose, it's a much closer fight, because that is a 0-2, so maybe you lose this fight, but you kill a lot more, and then HP is going to matter so much this game. There's another guy at 1 HP. So, yeah, certainly something to keep in mind. You buy the Silas here. I mean, we just have to roll down, pray that we hit Kaisa 3 here. this guy was the Kaisa guy, but they're only one Kaisa, so it is still plausible, but you can give up on Galio and the Silas. So yeah, this guy just is in Kaisa gel the entire game. I think they had Zyrakan either two or whatever, but yeah, you should just sell here, look for Kaisa 3. Just sell, I mean, I guess you can hold this other stuff, great. That's a really good in. Another Silas is fun, but it's never going to happen. Another Kaisa. Oh my god. Roll, 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 roll. Udyr, I like that you bought it, but then sold it immediately. I mean, we should sell the Gallios first, but I'm certainly down. Sell the Teemo and roll one more time. Oh, okay, okay. How tragic would that have been if that shop was Kaisa? Oh my god. All right. That's an Irelia too with a sniper +1. I mean, that's a pretty cool setup there. I think if we had a little bit more time, we could have positioned better, but I do think you had to roll there. And oh, with better positioning, I'm pretty sure we could have won this fight, but you had to roll. I mean, I think it's a little bit down to roll speed, but it's hard to roll that much gold there. I don't think. I mean, I think you could have made your game a lot easier. You could have made this roll down a lot easier. What you should have done, as I was saying, like before, at this is sell, sell, sell. You're never hitting these units, right? It's literally impossible to hit them when that guy has 3 galleys at the pool. So sell, 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 and then just keep your eyes only on Kaisa. And you could roll out faster. That would give you time to position. Because if you position in this last fight, I'm pretty sure you actually win it. If you have Galio, I mean, it's kind of hard because you want Galio in front of this, but you also want him in front of this. I mean, what you need to do is have like Udyr on this side so that Udyr runs up and absorbs Irelia aggro for a little bit, or something. You know, you want to decrease the sniper value of these guys as much as possible. So yeah, I like that we're spread out versus this guy. We could probably just have it's Xayah in the corner and then Teemo over here, probably positioning wise. But yeah, like this fight was so close. I think it could have certainly been a positioning diff if we just have if we have our Udyr over here disrespecting this Irelia, making her lose sniper value because yeah, look how close. And yeah, like I really think Teemo on this side, like just not having the Morello onto this Amumu probably lost us this fight, honestly. Like this Amumu heals so much. There's also a redemption they have. Like I think if we have Morello onto this this Amumu, we could actually win this fight. So so much of the game comes down to positioning. Like I said, I think we kind of picked the wrong line this game. I think we could have picked a better line just based upon our items. I do think the double Adapticone thing was certainly something we consider. Yeah, Augments, I disagree, I think, on the first 2 Augments, like I talked about. You should be, like I said, at 3-2, I think you should consider Keepers. I think you should think a lot about how your current setup synergizes with your Augments, because Keepers with a Randuin's just seems insane to me. It's hard to look at like the stats for it, but I'm pretty sure that is insane. And yeah, I mean, I like how you played the board once we got to it. I do think the positioning was a big thing in a lot of these fights. Having your Morello, your heal cut same side as your... It's the same principle as having your shred the same side as the unit that you're hitting. You just want to be anti-healing because that's the unit that's going to try to heal the most because they're going to be casting a lot, they're going to be doing damage, and the damage sticking is really relevant. Like the fact that our damage can't stick on this Amumu because we don't have the heal cut there is really rough. And oh, such a rough fight because we win this. And like, honestly, if we win this and like next round, maybe the Kaisa 3's in shop, who knows? But yeah, this was a really good VOD. I think I got to talk through a lot of really good stuff, so I'm happy that you submitted this VOD, and yeah, I hope this helps.